Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna be going over the what happened on Sunday with Real Madrid. It was unexpected to say the least, and I there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to know and what I pointed out. Um, Pretty good things that happened among the two games, Atalanta and Mallorca. And well, the obvious elephant in the room, the issue with Real Madrid now that they just tied their first opening game against a side that, no offense to Mallorca, it's not the best team in the league. So let's go ahead and start with the lineups. So the way Real Madrid lined up against Mallorca was exactly the same way that they had lined up against Atalanta, which I'm very happy about because we should not underestimate Atalanta. I mean Mallorca. They are an incredibly they're any team in the La Liga is able to compete against Real Madrid, especially when Real Madrid is Real Madrid. I mean, everybody wants to beat Real Madrid. So I'm glad that Ancelotti came out with all the starting 11. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the game against Atalanta. Against Atalanta, the first half against them, they were a bit. It wasn't the best Real Madrid. There was a lot of chances leaking to Atalanta being able to score, but ultimately the attack was just really good in the second half. Mbappe was able to score his debut goal. The front line actually looked pretty good between Rodrigo, Bellingham, Vinny, and Mbappe. And all the criticism that I want to do is Vinny should have been a bit more selfish from that goal. I know that Mbappe in the end ended up scoring that goal, but I think Vinicius should have just smacked that home. And that Vinicius was incredible in that game. Absolutely incredible. I mean, the passes that he was putting through were absolutely insane. He played incredible passing wise against Atalanta, as well as in most of the game against Mallorca, right? Vinny's passing last year or 2 years ago, last year, Vinny showed that his finishing improved a lot, massively. And this year it looks like the passing he had to adjust, right? Because with no more Toni Kroos and no more Modric, we don't have that midfielder who was able to put those incredible passes, because Valverde is more for box to box, and a Bellingham as well as a more box to box. But I think Bellingham can be able to put those passes, but he's too young and he's not there yet. So I'm glad that Vinicius was able to adapt his game and learn how to pass. Incredible passes that were put in both games. And not only did Vinicius play incredible, also Bellingham played a really solid game against Atalanta. He was tracking back, he was doing the box to box work, which was what he used to do at Dortmund. So I'm glad that Ancelotti was able to move, essentially move Bellingham back into his original position as a box-to-box midfielder. So, understandably, after the Atalanta game, I was left with a very big high on this Real Madrid, expecting high stuff, especially with the squad. You can't expect anything less than winning with Real Madrid, especially when you have the best attack in the world. But then it came to Sunday, which was what, 4 days after. 4 days after the Atalanta win in the European Cup. And Real Madrid started off very well against Mallorca. They played absolutely incredible. I mean, they were just coming and coming and coming and coming. Incredible attack from Real Madrid defensively. The first 40 minutes defensively, they looked very strong as well. And Mallorca couldn't get through. Vinny played incredible the first 45 minutes. He was unplayable. He just was dominating that left hand side. Mbappe, Vinicius eventually was able to make a little play and do a really good back heel up into Rodrigo, who did an incredible finish by Rodrigo. Incredible finish by Rodrigo to put that into the back of the net. Bellingham also had an incredible game against Mallorca the first 45 minutes, and as well as I said against Atalanta. Bellingham was going up and down as well as Valverde. However, what comes up as a surprise is the second the second half. Um, Real Madrid came out completely different. I mean, you would expect that they would come with the motivation to want to score and everything and to want to win, but it was completely different. Like if they were tired or if they didn't even take Mallorca seriously. There was a recording that came out of the tunnel between Bellingham, a conversation between Bellingham, Benny, Mbappe, and Rodrigo, and it was Bellingham telling them, "Hey, y'all got to finish these chances because it's a heck of a job defending y'all when y'all lose the ball and y'all don't even track back." So you would imagine that that they would come out and want to score, but actually they came out and they were just tired. I mean, Mallorca came out and they started attacking very well against Courtois. Eventually, they got a corner, and Real Madrid was unable to defend that corner like they had during the whole game because for some reason, Real Madrid is not that good at defending corners, even though they have Rudiger. But yeah, the corner comes in. Rudiger is unable to jump that high. The man is unmarked, comes in from behind and gets the header in. Great header from Mallorca. And Real Madrid, you would imagine that they're gonna step up their game and everything. However, no, Mallorca keeps attacking them, and it seemed like Benny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, the whole entire team was just tired. Rudiger and Militao were just destroyed. They just couldn't continue anymore. Courtois had a horrendous performance. Horrendous performance by Courtois. The second 45 minutes were really bad because it's understandable if the team is tired, right? The team is tired after a game that they had Wednesday. But the issue comes up with when Ancelotti decides to not put in the subs until the 86th minute. I don't understand why. And I, on top of that, he took out Chamonix, which was the only player that was linking that midfield to the attack. As the time went on, uh, Mojica just dominated. Mojica and Kyle Laren just destroyed that left hand side or that right hand side with Carvajal and Militao because Valverde wasn't able to track back because he was tired. So it was down to Carvajal and Militao. And Militao could not go against Mojica and Kyle Laren. Both of them would run down into the lane, into the end of into the pitch, and then put a cross back in where nobody from Real Madrid was marking anybody that was coming back in because there was no Chamonix. The only player that was tracking back was Modric because he was fresh, but Modric just had to track back from all the way back down there. Valverde wasn't able to because he was tired. Bellingham wasn't able to because he was tired, and there was a bunch like three chances that Mallorca had to finish us, but they couldn't finish. They just guided them, so we got very lucky there. And it showed that we really need a we need subs for the center backs and a CDM. Oh, and the box to box players, which is Bellingham and Valverde. We don't have a single player like that because if any of those gets injured, there's no replacement. There's no replacement. Maybe in the box to box area you could put Modric, but for Schwamini, there's not a single replacement. Kamavinga's injured. For center back, there's not a single replacement. Only Schwamini. For For Carvajal, there's Lucas Vasquez, and for Mendy is Fran Garcia, which we'll get back into that because he's going to end up playing against Valladolid. But we need to make it a signing. We need to make signings because, yes, Mbappe and Hendrick and all of these players are up there, but we don't have a defender. With all due respect, if Rudiger or Militao get injured, Vallejo's going to come in. Vallejo is a great player, but he's not a great player for Real Madrid. So I'm very worried on what could happen there. There's no Alaba. He's not ready yet. So I'm very worried of what could happen. But hopefully Ancelotti is able to figure it out. And the transfer window is not closed yet. We can still make a good amount of signings, hopefully. Now, lastly, I'd like to touch on Mendy because Mendy had an incredible game. They weren't able to pass him against Mallorca, but he did that stupid challenge. That stupid challenge that got him a red card, which means he's not going to be playing. You can't be doing those type of challenges when you're 1-1 and when you were arguably one of the better players from that pitch. You just can't do that. So because of that, Mendy's out. Mendy's out because of his stupid, idiotic red card, which is unnecessary. And we're gonna have to play Fran Garcia, which is not a bad left back, but I would want to have the best amount of players possible. Next game is in 5 days. No, in a week. Next Sunday. From when am recording this, it is 5 days. So hopefully the players are gonna be fresh and able to give their 100% because they look really tired against Mallorca. Overall, we gotta figure out, see how this team plays next games against Valladolid. We hope we better win that game, and we better fix our attack as well because it seems like it's not working completely yet. But I think it just comes down to Mbappe having to adapt to a new play, to a new way of play. I think Bellingham adapted already very well as playing as a box to box. He was just after Wednesday's game, back to back pretty much games. I understand, but I don't think is anything to worry about the way we play. What we have to worry about is the signings and the players that we have. Because if, as I said, if one of our back five or even midfielders gets injured, we're on deep trouble. But I trust on Ancelotti, I trust on Florentina, I trust on Real Madrid, and I think it's the first game, the trial run. So that's gonna be it for my analysis for the Mallorca game. If y'all guys enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe. Thank y'all for y'all support and peace out, guys.